Now look, whether you like the Squid Game finale or not, there was definitely a lot in the ending that confused people. Like, why did the show's lead character sacrifice himself? What message were the makers trying to give by showing such an ending? What was Hilla doing in the ending? And then there were so many characters you probably didn't even remember, and it was hard to understand their closure too. So, let me explain everything at once. Squid Game's ending explained. Let's first talk about player 456, meaning Gi-hun's sacrifice. And for that, I'll say, remember the Gi-hun from season 1? A gambling addict who used to blow his money on horse races, even lost the money he took from his mom. And now in the climax of season 3, he gives up his life for a child he has no blood relation with. This just represents how much and how well this character's arc has developed. A character who was once selfish and thought money could solve all his problems is now selfless, putting others before himself. See, in the final game, 3 people are left. Gi-hun, Myung-gi, the actual father of the baby girl, and a small newborn baby. The condition of the game is simple. One of them has to die for the game to end. That means if Gi-hun and Myung-gi wanted, they could have removed the baby and split the prize money. But obviously, that would make them literal monsters. But here's the twist. Myung-gi, who is the baby's actual father, threatens to drop her himself. Which, I'd say, was totally unexpected. Now obviously, the question comes, why would he do that? Because, man, he's not just a human anymore. He's become a product of the system. A system where self-interest is above all. And this game was created just to showcase that kind of human psychology on screen. The show's creator himself said that Myung-gi is a metaphor, a mirror of that side of society where money and survival are top priorities, even if it means sacrificing your own child. Player 456, meaning Gi-hun, on the other hand, saves that baby because he made a promise to her mother, Jong-hee, who you saw die during the jump rope challenge. Now why did he do that? Because that baby reminded him of his own daughter. So basically, through both these characters, the creators tried to represent society. They tried to show 2 polar opposites of society. Now here comes the logical question. When only 3 people were left and Myung-gi had already fallen, why did Gi-hun still sacrifice himself? What's the point? Many people were saying, bro, Myung-gi already fell, so Gi-hun and the baby could have easily become the winners. But you didn't pay attention to the rules of the game. That's why you were a little confused. The rule was that the game would only start once the platform button is pressed. And when Myung-gi fell, the game hadn't even started. Nobody had pressed the button, which means Myung-gi's death doesn't count. So, after his death, as per the rules, if player 456 didn't sacrifice himself, then both he and the baby would have been killed. That's why he sacrificed himself and made the baby the winner. That's where he says his final dialogue. We are not horses. We are humans. And humans are. And after that, he falls backward. But the show doesn't show or tell what he was going to complete in that sentence. That ambiguity was intentional. Even the episode is titled Humans Are. Basically, they didn't spoon-feed you here. They left it up to the audience. What are humans? You think. You analyze. The show leaves it up to you. Are humans selfless or selfish? Which, in my opinion, was perfect and very clever. And if you look at Gi-hun's arc throughout the story, then that horse line makes total sense. Just imagine, Squid Game began with horse betting, and Gi-hun himself used to do that. So, in a way, a parallel has been set up here. The same way Gi-hun once bet on horses, the VIPs are now betting on them. Then comes In-ho, the frontman fans of Season 1 will remember. He won Squid Game in 2015, and after winning, he became the frontman. Meaning he became the guy that the game turned into a monster. It stole his humanity. Why did he become part of the same game? And that same question is asked by his brother, Gi-hun. And the answer is mostly his guilt. In his personal life, he had lost his wife. That's why he joined Squid Game as a player, to win for her. And he killed other contestants to win. But even after all that, his wife didn't survive, and he drowned in guilt. So when Il Nam, the original founder of Squid Game, offered him the job of frontman, he accepted. The game became a purpose for him, a twisted redemption arc, where he gives similar choices to new players as he once got. And when those players, in desperation, make the same choices he once did, he gets a sort of relief, a justification that he had no other choice back then either. But when the same choice is given to player 456, Gi-hun, he doesn't lose his humanity or kill others. Because of that, In-ho's entire belief system is shaken. He realizes, maybe humanity is still alive. Maybe what he did was wrong. And that's when he takes efforts to secure Gi-hun's daughters and the baby's future. He gives the baby's entire winning amount to his brother. He gives Gi-hun's daughter the prize money he won in the previous game to reduce his regret a bit. The show hints that he may still be a part of the game, but now his role has changed, maybe even become bigger. You could say that he can't detach himself from the game anymore. Now he considers the game as punishment. Anyway, the Squid Game happening under him in Korea has ended. So his redemption arc is complete. Then many other characters, most of whom fans might have forgotten, also got their closure. Most of these closures were side plots, separate from the main story. First comes Kang No-yeol's character. She used to work at a Disneyland-like place and later became a guard in the Squid Game. Her arc connects to Park Young-suk, a player who worked with her in the same place. And Park Young's daughter had cancer. So from that moment, she made it her mission to get him out of the game alive, because she saw her own daughter in his child. Her past was tragic too. She escaped from North Korea to South Korea, but her husband was killed, and she was told her daughter had died too. But by the end of the season, it turns out her daughter might still be alive, in China's Yangjing city. In the show's last scene, she leaves for China with that hope. Every story is all about hope. In another small closure scene, we see player Sae Byok's little brother reuniting with their mom. That moment was truly heartwarming. Sae Byok had also escaped from North Korea to South Korea, but during the escape, only she and her younger brother made it. Her mom was stuck back, and she joined Squid Game just to earn enough money to bring her mom over. But she died in Season 1, and our player 456, Gi-hun, had taken the responsibility to bring her mom back. And before dying, he fulfilled that promise. That family has now been reunited. The arc of the Pink Motel is also closed here. Cho Woo-suk and Mr. Kim are the new owners of that motel and are renovating it. If you don't remember, this is where Gi-hun used to stay. Before going into Squid Game the second time, this was his base for training, staying, everything. So yeah, like this, every arc, every story got a proper closure. But the question remains, what now? What's next? We get a big hint at the very end. We see Cate Blanchett's cameo. You've definitely seen her as Hela in the MCU. And in Squid Game, she appears as a recruiter. The point is, Squid Game is a global game. That means these games are happening in every country. Though Korea's Squid Game ends with Season 4, it's still happening in other countries. Even the VIPs in Season 1 said that Korea's games are the best, meaning there are games happening in many countries. Cate Blanchett's character was most likely set up for the American spin-off. According to rumors, David Fincher is making a US-based Squid Game, and Cate might be the lead in it. Obviously, it's clear now that Cate Blanchett's recruiter is a part of this game. In the ending scene, the eye contact between her and In-ho hints that In-ho is now operating at a global level too. Maybe he's become a mastermind now, which only time will tell. But for now, just understand this. Squid Games from multiple different countries are definitely coming. The first spin-off will obviously be the American version. I hope you like my ending explanation. If yes, then like the video, share it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, tell me in the comments, how did you feel about the entire season of Squid Game? Personally, I feel they should never have extended it after Season 1. It's not that there weren't moments in Season 2 or 3 that you couldn't enjoy or that didn't give you trauma, but overall, nothing created that same impact as Season 1. Still, what's your opinion? Definitely tell me in the comments.